Now, Elwyn. Few have the wit that you and I possess. Most see the world in simpler terms, where we are the weaker sex.
A broodmare who preys on innocence, and you brag about strength.
How little you know. Defend your mistress!
I didn't get nothing today.
I like the pretty things. But
I'm going to marry King Alfred, and he's going to whisk me away from all this toil. Everyone died, and left me alone on the streets.
Ah! There's never enough food. I'm always starving. Jesus! Help me do it, bitte!
What? Here! Get fire!
That's her! Dimwit Dane, didn't guess the quill's a she.
Now, Elwyn. Few have the wit that you and I possess. Most see the world in simpler terms, where we are the weaker sex.
A broodmare who preys on innocence, and you brag about strength.
How little you know. Defend your mistress!
No one will bury you. Have a safe flight!
Aelfrith's roof. Does she flee to the bishop's house?
What's wrong with you?
Show yourself! Do not leave my side! Show yourself, murderer!
Remain steadfast.
Come, child. Whisper what you've learned, and Mother will give you a treat.
Coward. Using children to spy and steal for your order.
To educate them. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will give you the man. Or woman. What use are letters when a child can only write his name in pig shit? Or wisdom in a woman when she cannot wield it beyond her heart? I taught little Alwyn so much more. Saved her from a life less worthy. She will find enlightenment in the Order, just as I did. If I could save them all, I would.
But you cannot. You have corrupted too many to save too few.
My order is the only way forward. It can quench our thirst for knowledge. If only Alfred's slave faith is defeated. And what would you sacrifice for infinite knowledge?
An immeasurable gift. Why refuse it?
Not their innocence.
A pity. Non requiescat in pace.
Goodwin said to meet him at an alehouse nearby.
Eivor!
Is this where Justice hides when she is tired?
Hides? Splood, no. This is a wake, my friend. A celebration to ease the quill on her way to eternal damnation.
You heard.
Hilda's were not the only eyes in Winchester. My spies tell me stories of an avenging angel striking down the unworthy.
I've been called worse.
Be thou hail, Ealdor. That's Life Destroyer in our dialect.
I sat easy with my kinsbane, old honey waves alive in my horn, and my eyes on the door, expecting my death, yet unafraid.
You're quite safe with me, Dane. For now. If the mead is fresh and the air is cool, you may often find a friend even amongst your enemies.
I could use someone like you in my settlement, with ink on his fingers and a sense of honor.
I would love to devote myself to the study and practice of the law. There is a weariness in war I wish I could shake off.
Impossible. Even in death, our battles will rage on. It is the way of things.
I must thank you before the ale dulls me. By cutting the order down to size, you have given England a hope of unity. It must be a sour apple to swallow, knowing that you are the last of Winchester's enemies.
Are you sure the Sikhs is dead?
The bishop is dead, that's certain. And if the bishop was the Sikhs is dead. A transitive property of mortality, you see.
I do not believe it. Too much theatre in Winchester. Overwrought prayers and wailing women.
Well, you could pay your respects and see for yourself. The funeral is today.
If he rots, I will leave with my silver. But if he lives, there's work to be done.
Watch your step, Eivor. He'll be a hefty corpse in death. Alive, he'd be much bigger. Whether you find or make a corpse, meet me at the Witten with your report.
If the bishop is worm-meal, then here should be the proof.
Eternal bliss.
A
Where
sad
joy
day for
endures
Winchester.
for all
Maybe
those
now
beloved
God will
of
reward us with a man who truly believes in him.
Did you know Bishop Aelfirth?
No, but I plan to write an epic poem of his grisly demise. Oh, poor Aelfirth, scorched of face. All your woeful companions, bold, bayoneted, weeping. Weeping as you are...
Sleeping.
Oh, yeah, perfect, yes.
Such a grisly fate. Did you know Aelfirth?
By reputation, I did. He was no friend of Alfred's. I once heard them quarreling at a Witten.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Makes no odds to me. But I'm sorry for Harriet. She cared so much for him. More than a sister should.
A stranger comes to Wember.
You do not mourn like they do.
Wember is always here, helping the sleeping, singing to them, so they are not frightened before they meet God.
The sleeping? You mean the dead?
Wember helps the monks. Dig, dig, dig.
You dig the graves. Did you bury Aelfirth?
Have you seen Layoff? My poor friend. Poor Layoff.
Leof, what happened to him?
Sleeping? Sleeping like my dog when I hugged him too hard.
Someone heard Leof.
Yes. And while he slept, they stole his face. Are we friends now?
Did you know Bishop Aelfirth?
Barely. But can you still smell the burned flesh? It's rife across the whole graveyard.
Do you not see? I am in prayer.
May we speak of your brother's death?
Have you no shame? Leave me.
I know the burden you bear. Such a weight of sin you have taken on. And all for your brother's sake. I know he lives.
No, He said it was for the good of all. I am his loyal sister, and I tell you he is dead. You hear me? Dead. Leave me alone. I cannot betray my brother. Guards, protect me!
Eat this!
Together, lads, we have this.
you not leave me alone?
Enough of this cat and mouse. Where's your brother, the one they call the Sikhs?
He is a ghost now, but he will make himself flesh once more at the Witten. And Alfred will be king no more.
He means to kill Alfred.
Regicide? No. The king will step aside, and Aelfrith will lead us all, risen and resplendent as the Lord.
You are a damned fool. The Sikhs must be hiding in the crowd, biding his time to strike at Alfred.
The decay of English prose has been creeping. Not priest, clerk, or abbot can turn the letter of their sermons from Latin to English. And how can we understand God's words if they are not spoken in our tongue? Aelfrith is dead, and we mourn him. But the foul deeds of the unrighteous...
How sweet is the shepherd's pipe when he calls his lambs to slaughter. I was born to Christians in the northern wilds. My mother would cradle me beneath the stars and whisper, dove-like, God watches over you. Then your people came. And God fixed his stout eye as they slit her throat for a copper ring. No stars threw down their spears as barbarians smeared her blood through fields of broken wheat. God watched all, and I hated him.
It may be Alfred's god was testing you. A trial you failed.
Alfred's god is weak. Yet he would chain us all in his service, from our first breath to our death rattle. My order wishes to break these mind-forged manacles. I am the wolf in lamb's wool.
He takes on the role of a god himself. A worthy path to walk. A wolf is but a walking feast for ravens.
One more gift for you, Dane. A deadly truth, if you can find it. With my death, the Order will not die. It will only transform into something far worse for all of us.
Aelfrith will not cheat Loki's dread daughter twice.
I owe you my life.
An irony not lost on me, Alfred.
My king will go by back streets to the Old Minster. Eivor may find us there when all has settled.
Aelfrith, my love! No! Curse you, Dane! My brother served God.
He wrapped himself in a death cloak to murder your king.
Shouldn't you rejoice at the death of a king? You are a heathen and a devil.
We both have more questions than answers. But if you know this key, perhaps we can help one another. Where is its home?
You treated me with kindness, but this damned order, their machinations killed my brother, so the rest may rot. Take this key to the ruins beneath the bishop's house. You may find answers there.
This is Niflheim, the hell of mist and cold. This is where the faithless dead come to die again. This is where ghosts fade to mist, to be forgotten.
Your meddling has doomed us all, Crow of Battle.